All right, welcome everybody. This is the Legends. I'm just gonna edit all that. Just stop.
Just cut it.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the Legends of Tabletop podcast. We're getting ready to jump into our DayTrippers game. I'm gonna kick stuff over to Todd. Let him give us a recap as far as what's going on, and then we're gonna have a meta conversation about what's going on with the game and kind of where we are, and then we'll move on from there.
All right. Well, things are like we've been in limbo. We've been in downtime, right, for basically, I think, the whole last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And because you've got this potential lawsuit, or not a suit, but a hearing coming up. You want to blacklist the planet Drir, get it removed from the big model of the multiverse, because you don't think humans should ever go there again. And you expect some pushback from X Investments, who, of course, was the company who hired you, sent you out there to the dangerous planet, where you succeeded in the mission. You brought back 5 dead people, and you succeeded in the mission. But now it turns out that there was a contingency plan in the contract that your boss Bento signed with the head over at X Investments, and that is Blanche Regardy. She is pressing you guys to just do one thing for her. One thing is all she wants. Bring back a sample of a mimic. It doesn't even have to be a whole mimic. Bring one sample back from the planet Drir, and she will not contest, oppose, or block you in any way in getting the planet blacklisted. If you won't do that for her, then what we expect is that this will go to third-party arbitration, and if you can't abide by the findings of the arbitrator, then it will go to court. It'll go to the North American Circuit Court M Division. So that's kind of where we left you guys off. Last time, Reggie was doing some experiments with the neurostimulator device that Julio had designed.
We don't talk about that.
I know, but this is for the audience out there. Okay. So
right. I'm sorry. Right.
Or just the voice in your head talking to the audience who listens to the voice in your head.
The audience in my head that listens to the voice in my head. Right. I'm on board.
Right. Okay. And it seems that those experiments had opened a sort of a door in Reggie's neurology. He's becoming, I guess his addiction for Comanapryl is now either transferring or extending to include direct neural stimulation of any kind. So he's been gathering up all the VR units and AR units and mind readers and mind scanners and intelligence multipliers and I mean, crazy black market shit, weird woo-woo spiritual shit, anything that you put on your head that messes with your consciousness. He's even got a dream deck now. And that's when Nash got a little bit worried when he saw the dream deck in Reggie's apartment. So Reggie's going through a little bit of a weird thing right now because Julio saw too much. Julio saw inside your head while you guys were experimenting. He saw something that like really made him uncomfortable, and he can't even look you in the eye anymore. So now you've gone on a spree buying all these devices, and things are getting really weird. Reggie's having a hard time telling what's real and what's a dream anymore. He spends more hours messing with his consciousness than he spends literally conscious. So things are getting weird. As a matter of fact, we left on a weird note. It was Nash, having left Reggie's apartment, hearing sounds get louder as he walked away from the door. He stopped and wondered for a minute, is Reggie somehow lucid dreaming right now? He said he couldn't tell if it was real or a dream. And then Nash shakes it off, and we closed with the irising down on his face. So you're going through the lawsuit. You're going through this weird. Reggie's going through this weird thing. I realized today. Okay, so like Reggie's got his sexual nightmares, and now he's becoming a stim head. Julio saw something inside Reggie's mind that shook him up so bad he can't even look his fellow officer agent in the eye anymore. Tom is a raging alcoholic. Duke has the shittiest luck in the world and imposter syndrome. And it seems like Lil Kim is the only member of the Loose Guns that has their shit together. All the rest of you are a hot mess.
Guns.
But the real question now, we've got like 30 days to figure it out. I'll make a downtime roll. We're still in downtime. That was all just sort of summing up, because the real question that we want to find out right now is, are you going to go back to the planet Drir, give Reggerty her sample, and then shut that bitch down? The planet, that is. Although you might want to shut Reggerty herself down. That would take more effort, probably
Yes.
more than one episode. Are you going to get her sample and then get the planet shut down, or are you going to see her in court or in front of arbitration?
If I think Bento had indicated that he thought chances were good that we would win an arbitration and that they would X-list the planet. Nash is...
He does think so, and that probably plays into the fact that they've asked for a third-party arbitrator rather than court, because especially if they lose the case against you, that would be public record of them fighting against the guys who successfully got the planet shut down. They don't need that sort of PR.
Right. And then he's upset. They pointedly asked if there was more information, and she said no, and clearly there was, and whether or not that would have any bearing on the mission at hand is undetermined.
Mm-hmm.
But Nash himself is rankled at the fact that, when specifically questioned, that she lied. And that's that ties into his whole guilt situation with, I get kicked out of the army and everything else. That's a no-go for him. It's just no, fuck you. You lied to me now.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know that's the way you feel. And I don't think I'm going to quite jump into Bento, but you can maybe imagine that Bento would point out the contract was on a need-to-know basis. It would probably take yet another lawsuit to prove whether or not they had information that, in all due diligence, they felt you actually needed to know. Yeah, because even the idea that there had been a previous mission, well, you don't know whether the previous mission reported anything or not. So it's really all conjecture as to what they knew. They did tell you Mentaka was out there and they'd lost contact. That they did know and told. So it's really up in the air. You have no way to prove whether they deliberately withheld information from you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Nash can appreciate that to some degree, but he still doesn't like it. And Bento making, a side deal that then he wants to hold our feet to the fire. Like there's nothing about any of this that sits well with him. I mean, if they are successful in third-party arbitration and the planet's X-listed, then it's a moot point.
Okay, well, I can jump into Bento's head for this part. You guys have got a month before you need to make this decision. So along the way, there's a conversation with Bento,
sure,
and he'll tell you this. Look, I told you I'll stand by you, and I will stand by you. I just want to try to explain to you. When I made the deal with Blanche Reggerty, when I built Contingency Plan B into the contract, nobody knew you were going to come back with 5 dead crew members. Certainly nobody knew that you were going to come back with a recommendation for blacklisting the planet. That was the farthest thing from any of our minds. Plan B was simply, if you came back with the potential of some further value, some further return on investment, then I would set up a second mission and return some investment. Because you were hired for search and rescue. You did that. We got paid for that. The contingency plan was, in case anything's out there that's actually lucrative, saleable, valuable, a resource, later a mission would be put together. Now, of course, you guys would be the number one people that I would recommend for that mission. There's no doubt of that. However, no one expected you to come back attempting to shut down the entire operation. And stand by you I will, but this is why Plan B comes up in this conversation. It literally was part of the agreement that I made, not knowing what you were going to come back with.
I mean, I feel like that's probably something that you should have discussed with us, right? I mean, back me up here, Reg. Like, I know you're the boss and all, but like, I mean, don't you think that's a conversation we could have had?
The second team doesn't have to be you. I would prefer it to be you. But the crew members were not stipulated. I'm open on that.
Isn't it, as far as backing you up, yeah, of course I back you up with this. We should have had all the information. You know, that's pretty much my general feeling on everything that we do together. But if anyone is going back, well, at least from dark matter, it probably should be us, because we've seen it. We know exactly what to do. Well, theoretically, we know exactly what to do. And also, I feel like bringing one of these things back is just inviting a disaster, which only makes our case even better.
I absolutely agree that you're the best man for the job. And try to look at it this way. If Mentaka hadn't lost his mind, killed his crew, and quit communicating with home base, then your mission never would have happened. But she still would have come to us for what we're now calling Contingency Plan B.
Contingency Plan B.
I mean, it just seems like such a bad idea, right? Like, I mean,
oh, it's definitely a bad idea.
Bento, but here's the thing. I mean, if we bring this thing back and they're able to synthesize it, I mean, just think if that thing gets loose. I mean, that whole world could be a mimic. I mean, the whole thing, all the vegetation, all the life forms, everything. I mean, what happens if that gets out here?
Then the world will be mimicked by a mimic world. Mimic world. Also,
this is not the first utterly hazardous chemical resource agent, whatever you want to call it, that the world has dealt with. It needs to be contained, absolutely. And that's not our job.
But
it may not be our job, but it's sort of our responsibility. If we're the ones bringing it back. Sorry.
Damn it.
How much of that can you cut out?
Yeah, none of it. Do it again. Do this again because you get a clean.
I don't even remember. All of it, if oh my God, I forgot what I said. Oh shit. I see a picture of a man. No, it's in my head.
It's Bento.
Oh wait, never mind. We're with Bento right now. Here's the bottom. Here's what we should be doing. If we're going to go back, it should be us. If we don't go back, they're going to send somebody else. That's what I was trying to say before. Right?
I mean, Bento, do you trust them to be able to contain something like that?
I think given your report, they have a better chance than you ever could have being sent out there the first time. But remember, the rescue mission was a hiccup in an operation. This is from X Investment's point of view, right? Who knows how much they've invested in the node coordinates themselves? Probably many megas for that. So they obtained those coordinates from someone. They sent out one mission that you weren't told about and perhaps should have been. That one cost many megas more. Then something went wrong and they had to send out a rescue mission. Again, we're talking billions of megabucks in the hole here. She wants to see some return on that investment. It has cost her company dearly.
I mean, do we have to give you an answer right now? I mean, can we give us a couple of days here?
We have 30 days before we meet with the arbitrator. So, yeah, you have exactly one downtime roll to go through.
Can I
That
just
seems like a weird thing to say.
Wait a minute. Did you hear that too? You heard it too.
I think it was like a really weird, right, Reg? I mean, like,
Hey,
you caught that.
Let me tell you. Bento's been working on his smolder. Have you noticed it?
No,
His
it's
smolder.
that
His smolder's
reality.
tight.
Reality has been getting a little weird around Reggie lately, and you guys both thought you heard something that you didn't actually hear. But then when you ask him to clarify himself, he says, "Look, you guys have 30 days. Why don't you take some downtime?"
Yes.
Yeah. You're right. I think we need a little bit of time off.
I feel like time off would be good to think about all of this.
Okay, Bento's gone, and that definitely fucked up the audio, didn't it?
Yeah, we were still getting a little bit of a crackle before, but it definitely gets worse when the screen share thing comes up.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
hopefully it doesn't next time.
The next 30 days, you guys. Somewhere in here, I'm going to make a roll, but just in general, what are you doing? Now, Nash, you still get called out on a regular basis for red carpet events with Scylla Sardassian. And actually, she's been kind of nudging you a little bit lately about, we need to find some new and exotic locations for the show. You said you'd help me with that.
He's so since they've come back from Drir, he's been a little bit more distant. Like, he's not super engaged, I guess, already anyway. But like even with that parameter, he's been a little bit more distant with this kind of weighing on his mind. He's like, definitely. I'll talk to Bento. I mean, he's got this thing he wants us to work on. But I'm sure we could probably come up with something.
Would it help if I throw some money at him?
Well, I mean, he's never one to shy away from a little bit of money. I mean, I guess once we get this situation resolved, that'll free us up to move on to some other things.
Over this period of time, are you training in any way? Are you spending any experience points? And are you active out in the world, or are you laying low? Kind of what I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, Nash is out with her, I guess, as she's out doing things. I guess he would probably work with the team, right? I mean, they don't always necessarily go out with us, but I'm sure Reggie and I would have them, kind of in the hollow deck and kind of like working on stuff, maybe he would ask Coolio to see if he could program in like a Drir like atmosphere to see if they can run some missions through that.
Yes, we call it the atmosphere. It's already in there.
I don't have XP to spend, so it's more of just like a narrative,
Okay. And you're kind of forced to go out in public.
I am, yeah. I don't know about Reg.
Nope.
All right. So
No public for me.
you guys can continue having this conversation. We're just going to pretend like it takes place over the course of a month.
Sure.
You're arguing back and forth and da-da-da. And while that's going on, Nash, roll 3d6. The higher you roll, the better.
All right, am I adding them all together?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, 9, 10, 11.
And once again, your life is even Steven. Everything is exactly as expected. Your relationship with Scylla is on a completely even keel. There's no big dramatic romantic swings, but there's also no major fights, blow-ups, or interruptions of any kind. She is like clockwork. She's got her media machine in place. She's constantly ready for the cameras, like 24/7 everywhere she goes. And you probably find it a little tiring, but at least once a week, you're out there in it for several hours. And then afterwards, you go back to her place and have sex. It's almost becoming a routine.
Oh, they're like a married couple. Hey, can we have Nash roll a d6 to see how many sex tapes there are of him and the Kardashian out there in the omniverse or whatever the fuck?
Oh, there's probably hundreds at this point.
I'm sorry. I said that to the other me who's sitting across from me in my apartment while I'm daydreaming.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I rolled a d6 scaled to a logarithmic scale. So what I was actually rolling for was how many orders of magnitude from 1, and I got 4, which means 10, 100 times. There's in the 10,000s of
videos.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like that. That's the scale of like.
Yeah, because that counts all the derivative ones too. Like that counts all the ones where people have taken it and sampled it into a compilation tape, and other people have taken it and like Scylla's best sexual moments collection number 116.
That's just on replay in the background in my apartment.
Look
at yourself.
It's a cottage industry, actually. I mean, there are probably a couple hundred people who make their living doing Scylla Sardassian sex tapes on PornTube.
We did it.
Nash tries not to think about that.
There's such a heavy cloud of denial.
Look, Nash, I think you've got a pimple on your butt, Nash.
Oh, man, come on. I mean, jeez, what are you guys doing? Tom, fucking...
It's everywhere. You can't escape it.
Yeah, but you know what? Also, it's really no big thing. In fact, sex tapes are kind of passe, It's like everybody does it, whether they're famous or not.
Also, the last few of these have been sort of romantic. I mean, there haven't been as, it just seems like it's nice. You've invited us into your bedroom to share in your love making.
I did. It's the fucking Reg. There's fucking cameras everywhere. You can't get away from it.
Yep. Yeah. There's cameras everywhere anyways, but any sort of privacy that maybe you thought it would be with you and her, it's just nothing. There's just no privacy, nothing for you.
There's not, and half the time she won't even come back here because I think that she just is going to record, she's just set on recording Like it's weird. It puts me in a really weird place.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely in a weird place. You don't need to be put there by any sort of. You're just in it. You're just constantly in a weird place. You know, like this is just a weird. I'm happy for you. You're just sort of like living it up. You're just going nuts and just having fun. But you know, this is crazy. This is just a wild and crazy thing.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, what have you been up to, man? I mean,
Well,
what's
I've been
going
doing a lot of well, there's a lot of training, but like training of my mind. I'm trying to. I have to achieve another level of understanding. Do you know what I'm saying?
Are you spending any XP in this?
I would love to. I have 31. I don't think that's enough to really do anything, but like I'm very interested in just blasting the hell out of my psych and lucid dream skills and stuff, just to become as eccentric as I possibly can. Eccentric? Yeah, eccentric. There's going to be a lot of. Yeah, I'm trying.
Are you doing like a Zen thing? Like, are you?
Zen?
I mean, you focus your. What
You
do
know
you
what?
mean?
You know what it is.
Okay, what's your
It's
lucid
like
dreaming skill now?
Right now, it's at a +2.
So
Yeah,
it would cost you 40.
yeah. So I'm a little short.
Yeah, you would have to go into debt if you wanted to do it now.
I've got megas for debt. Oh, you mean XP debt? Oh, that's different. That's a different debt. What's the XP debtor's prison like? It's probably not fun. Anyway, so yeah, that's my sort of goal. I suppose. Yeah, there's been a lot of sitting in my favorite chair, just sort of staring. A lot of watching of your 6 tapes. A lot of just Hey, they're listen.
But you don't have to watch those. It's weird for me.
When you want to learn from the master, you watch and you read all of his books. Who said that? Did someone say that? You said something about Zen, and I wanted to say one thing about that. There's more of a, if I could call it a tantric Zen. Is that anything?
I mean, there's tantric, but dude, that's weird. Like, you can't watch somebody else.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was skipping into what I was doing and sort of like I was using your 6 tapes as sort of a catalyst to achieve tantric Zen.
I mean,
and I got to say, because again, Reggie's mind is in weird places lately, and the way he talks about it, Nash, you're actually not sure if he can separate reality from fantasy anymore. He kind of talks about it as though he was in the room right there with you and Scylla.
When I was in the room,
he thinks it was real. He thinks it was real.
Are you? I mean, are you feeling it? Like,
nah.
I mean, we're taking some time off, but are you like? Do we need like? Do you need to like talk to somebody or like what's like? Are you okay?
Listen, I don't have any more room in my schedule for people to talk to. There's people coming in and out all the time. They're just in and out, and we're just talking about anything that I want, anything that they want. It's wonderful. I'm just absorbing all of the information into my brain, and I'm just sort of like exploding it outward into just this like exhilarating sort of exultation of ephemeral sperm.
Wow, that was a beautiful sentence up until the last word.
So Nash, like, he looks around Reggie's place, and I'm sure it's like all disheveled and like.
No, actually, it's quite neat.
Is it?
Yeah, I just sit in my chair.
Actually, the most recent painting, the one that was up near the door, because the newest painting is always the first thing you see when you walk in the door.
Mm. What
It's
do you think?
It's sort of a yin yang thing, but it's also like a self portrait. So it's a dark Reggie, naked, like coming up this way, and he's eating the feet of another Reggie that goes in his mouth and out, and he's eating the feet of the first one. So it's a dark Reggie and a pink Reggie.
It's like a Reggie Borealis or whatever it's called.
Because you had a sexual nightmare where you were eating yourself in a circle that went round and round and round, and you couldn't stop doing it. And as you were doing it, you were turning pink. You turned into a gooey pink blob, and you just kept eating yourself.
Just formed right into it. And I title this one Catharsis. Do you think it plays? Catharsis?
Probably.
And I want you to notice that. Did you notice? I put it's a little nod to you. Did you see in the pink me right on the butt right there? Do you see that? Dude, it's like your birthmark. It's a nod to you. I nodded to you.
I mean, thanks. I guess sure. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen, this is all fucked. I understand, but it's all part of the journey. All right. I have to go on this journey. I have to justify what happened between me and Julio somehow.
Yeah, what was that about? He's like all fucking weird now every time that we're around. Like what?
Listen.
Now you got to say something. I can't believe it. You let the cat out of the bag straight to him. Now you got to talk.
This is your other Reggie talking to you from behind my shoulder.
Oh yeah. So Reggie just sort of looks to the right of you for a second. You're just, all right, listen. Shh,
yeah, I'm right here.
No, you're fine. So Julio got inside the labyrinth. Okay, he got in.
We laid in holodeck.
Well, it was in the holodeck, but it was in up in here, like in this region.
Okay. Yeah.
He just sort of went in there. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, but it was all home related, if you remember. And no, not Hume related. What was it called?
The Who. Yeah.
The Who related. Yeah.
Yeah, you were working with the
all the thingies and the faces. Yeah, right. So it was all Who related, and he got in there, and then he sort of he was just by accident staring straight into the center of the labyrinth, into Jareth's lair, if you will. You get it. And there's just all of these things just hip hopping, jumping all around. And it's every once in a while you grab one, and then you look at it and then you shit your pants, and because it's just this face and this melting, and all of those things are sort of hip hopping around up in there. And then when he goes in with all of his Who manipulators, he just sort of stops it all. And then he's looking at 4 or 5 of them all at once. Is any of this making any sense?
So he does a slow turn around the room and sees all the various paintings all over the wall. And he's like, ooh, that's that's probably, he probably found some stuff he didn't want to. I guess.
Listen, now that they're out, there's nothing to be done. It doesn't matter what I want. What I want is just, it doesn't matter anymore. Now all I have to do is understand so that I can sort of wait. Yeah, so I can sort of just use it. I need to use it, If I can use this, it can help us. Stop it!
So Nash kind of moves up to him and tentatively puts a hand on his head, puts his wrist on his head. I want to make a medicine check. It's he's strung out. Nash is concerned now. He's eccentric, but now he's really kind of he wants to feel his pulse.
Feel the pulse. I want you to know that I'm working on a masterpiece that's in the back room. You can't see it yet.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Reggie looks behind you as you're doing your medicine check.
I got a 7.
So
he's checking his eyes, he's checking his pulse, he's kind of rubbing,
Oh my God, you're looking inside of my. Do you see it?
What skill was that?
Medicine or medic, I guess.
Don't you have psych?
Yeah, I guess I could have made a psych roll too. That would have been 8 then.
If he's doing this, is there some sort of a roll I could do to sort of harness his check and use it against him and dive into his mind?
Yeah, so maybe so like he's checking his eye, like maybe he's like, talking to him. So like, so when did this happen? Like,
Okay. He's a little bit clammy. His eyes his eyes are dilated a little bit. But the physical symptoms aren't anything you would send him to a clinic for. The psychological symptoms are weird, but here's an even weirder thing. The way he's talking, he's not only blurring the line between reality and illusion, but sometimes he's making you doubt it.
Nothing's happening. Nothing.
So does like it like the look at the couch and it's blue, but then I look back and it's like red, like that kind of stuff.
It's while he's talking about it, like he'll be talking about Drir, for instance, as you guys are in the conversation about the upcoming legal proceedings, right? And he'll mention something that happened on Drir, like, you know that, right? Remember when? And what he describes, you don't remember at all, or you remember it going differently. But then you realize you were wrong and he's right. And then the story gets a little bit weirder, and you're like, wait a minute, no, that totally didn't happen. No, you're wrong. And he's somehow like pulling you in to his illusionary visions. Like from time to time, you feel yourself totally agreeing with shit didn't happen that way.
Yeah. So he just kind of like, flops down on the chair looking at us.
Don't sit on that chair.
He stands back up again immediately.
You can sit on that one over there next to Philip.
So he kind of like looks over and kind of like cocks his head and he's like, sure.
Nah, he's not there now. You can go over there.
I'm not, I don't know what the fuck's going on, Reg, but like something is weird is.
Mm-hmm. I know. I'm not denying that. None of this is normal.
I mean, my concern is, are you going to be okay when we get out? Like,
oh yeah, no. Focus is this is you see where you're in my. I'm just going to say it. You're in my mind palace right now. This is my room. I've created my mind palace. I want to do this. You're sitting here, and he sits you over in Philip's chair, and he goes, "Don't worry, he's not coming back for another 3 years. He'll be fine." And he goes and he grabs a canvas, and it's just like he puts it down in front of you, and what's there is just it's just the blackest of blacks, and it looks like I maybe mixed some black paint with like some purple with some hints of white. But you're not sure what the pattern of the purple and white is. It's so dark and it mixes in with the black. And
is it called it's like Vanta X, right? The world's blackest paint.
Yes, the world's blackest paint mixed with like this like subtle purple and whitish, these swirlies. And I put it like way too close than it needs to be. And you're sitting right there and you don't take your eyes off the center of this, and then I disappear behind it and all the lights go off, and now you're just staring into the middle of this thing, and like you can see like the whites are picking up some of the random maybe I have like a string of like Christmas lights or something around, and they're just like picking it up here and there, they're blinking, and now you're just staring, you're in the painting, you're in it.
Like he sits transfixed for a couple of minutes, like he's like just kind of zoning a little bit, like he's being sucked into this.
Do you see
whatever is happening?
Do you see it yet?
I mean, it almost kind of looks like it's moving. It looks like it's moving.
Yeah.
Reggie, what the fuck is that?
Oh, man.
Nash, will you give me a psyche roll, please?
Sure. If I get to add my psych, it's a 5. If not, I'm at a 3.
Okay, so you rolled psyche number of dice, and I want the highest one, and it's a 3.
Yes, plus 2 if I get my psychology. I'm assuming no.
All right. Using some mindfulness techniques that you learned in your psychological training, you managed to shake yourself out of it. But for a second there, in the middle of the painting, not only did you see motion, it looked like Scylla in an automated survival suit like flailing around in space. Your girlfriend was in his painting, and then you're like, what? No, focus. Nash, bring yourself back, and you looked at it and it was gone.
He kind of stands shakily and sort of reaches a hand out in the darkness.
Oh, I turn the light on when you stand up. Click. It's on. I say click when I turn the lights on, just because.
Reg,
What did you see?
I saw Scylla in the painting.
That's amazing. Okay.
She was like in space, like in a suit, but she wasn't tethered to anything. It's like she was floating.
Oh man.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
Wait, hold the thought. Hold it. And Reggie disappears into a side room for just a few seconds. And then he comes back out. What else?
No, I mean, that was it. I mean,
she was wearing the suit? What color was the suit?
I mean, it was a regular suit. It's like white, like canvas color. I don't.
So just like a regular run-of-the-mill suit?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. All right. I mean, did you enjoy the experience?
It didn't seem like it was a good. It didn't seem good, Reg.
I mean, it probably wasn't.
Look, man. Let's go get something to eat. Like, let's get out of here.
Okay, no, that's fine. You'll see. No, it's fine. It's great. Watch, and then we start to walk out. Reggie I stop by the door though. I stop by the door. I don't leave yet.
Like you open up the door, Nash walks out.
I don't open the door. The door's not open yet.
Oh, okay.
Did you think it was open?
I thought I just assumed you were going to open it. I started to walk up to the.
He gets real close. He goes, "The door's not open yet."
And like cocks his head and looks at you and like, I don't sound like a metaphor.
All right, where do you want to go? And Reggie opens the door. Let's go. Come on, and we leave.
He like throws an arm over his shoulder and like looks back warily at the room like there's some fucked up.
The room's gone. Ah! No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so that's one weird scene from this month. And Reggie.
Yes.
I want you to grab 3d6.
I've done it.
And we're gonna roll, and you're laying low. So,
Sure.
You know what? Okay, before we do this, let's see if you succeed in actually laying low. All right, this is a psyche roll.
Okay. Okay. So is it okay? Psyche roll. So I'm on 4 die.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. My highest is a 5.
Yeah, you have. You've managed to lay so low that your neighbors aren't even sure you're in the building until they happen to be like within just a few feet, and they'll hear you like quietly screaming or crying to yourself.
Or until they wake up in the middle of the night and I'm serving them tea. And then I'm gone.
And the whole month is filled with experiences like this. You have that repeating dream where you're eating yourself and you're turning pink. And Nash, I don't know if you like the idea of visiting Reggie at his own place, because it seems the weird shit that's been happening around Reggie lately does definitely seem to be worse at his place.
Yeah, after that one experience, like he calls him and is like, "Hey, let's meet here. Like, let's go grab some burgers, or let's stay late at work to like chat about whatever." Like, he doesn't go over very often anymore.
So whenever you recommend a place, there's always a moment where Reggie's like, "Well, okay, there's like 17 windows there, and maybe there's a couple of like, maybe the paint has a little bit of, oh, I suppose like the floor has some tiles, and then maybe green. Remember green?" He'll just say random shit like that, and then he'll meet you there.
All right. So I guess while they're out, one day it's like grabbing food after work, grabbing burgers or whatever. He's like, shit. So what do you think about this Drir thing, man? Like, do we go back, do you think? I mean, like, I don't want them. I mean, if somebody's got to go, it's got to be us, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Send somebody else.
So the way that I sort of view this whole situation right now is like, if the bottom line here is they're going to send somebody because they're that fucking corrupt, then like it has to be us, just as it's our responsibility. No.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was Bento's plan, right? I mean, it's got to be somebody from the team. I don't want to.
I'm going beyond that. I'm saying it's beyond dark matter. It's beyond anything else that's just like this is a potential threat beyond anything that perhaps we've ever faced if it accidentally gets, if it gets fucked up. But it's sort of out of our hands if we bring something back. So if a team goes out there, they're going to be slaughtered. I think that's pretty clear, right? I mean, they won't have any intel, and any intel that we could provide for them would be useless because you need to see this thing to know exactly what you're dealing with.
Yeah. I mean, I would just feel guilty if say Julio and fucking Duke went up and Duke had a rough go again, then like that's on me then.
No, I mean, this is their job. It's our jobs. I think like you need to just sort of like relax a little bit about this whole it's on you thing. Yeah, you're in command, but this is their jobs. I think we sit them down, and you're not one to just be like, hey, we're going out to Drir. Who knows what's going to happen? They're going to know the risks. You're going to give them their fair shake, You're not a bastard who just says, this is the job, we go. This is like, you sit them down, you say, this is what we're dealing with,
Yeah, but we already know then, right? I mean...
Yeah, but like you and me, and mostly you, but me too, are the best equipped to explain it to people. And I feel like if we're going to explain it to anyone and we're going to go, it should be our own people. So you put it in their hands because this is potentially it,
Well,
Right. The mark has capacity of 4, so it's really choosing 2 people.
I mean, communications is shit, right? So Julio's probably not good. And
well, I just can't look at him in the face. We just don't make eye contact, so that's probably not the best.
Well, that's probably good.
Yeah, I can't.
Don't want that. All right.
I can't risk that again.
And Duke's had a rough go. I mean, I guess at least Tom and little Kim, right? I mean, she got left behind the last couple of times. So
yeah, little Kim, I feel like she'd be a good choice, except I almost don't want to put her at risk. She's like too precious, like a precious flower.
I mean, she got to get some time in. I mean,
that's true.
She trains as hard as the rest of us. Shit, she broke Tom's nose. Remember?
Yeah, she's a tough broad.
Yeah, she is.
If it comes to hand, she's the one you want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I feel like little Kim is probably, in the end, the best of us to handle that sort of situation.
Fuck, does this mean we're gonna go back then?
Your call in the end, but I'm saying it's sort of it might very well be not by our choice, our responsibility to be able to handle this.
Man, this is so fucked. I mean, maybe we got to set up some boundaries or something with Bento. Like I get work is work. Like, and I know this is our job, but like,
okay,
I
but
feel
also,
like we get fucking railroaded here.
Well, but also, like he said we didn't have to.
Yeah, but he wants us to. He wants us to.
But he wants us to do everything. Because we're the best.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong.
I might be. But the point is you have to believe it's real. Just remember that. You have to believe it's real.
There's been some wisdom dripping out of Mr. Carlisle today.
Dripping is a very apt description.
Spurting.
Things that have been spurting. Spurting's another one that's very good. Mind Nash.
I mean, fuck. All right. I mean, we got to come up with a concise plan. I mean, they want a piece of this thing, then we fucking grab a piece of this thing and we get the fuck out of there and we do this real quick.
Okay, what about containment? Do we just kind of like? Do we just like put a seatbelt on it and say, "Hold on"? Or do we just? There has to be some sort of a box. I don't really remember if there was anything in that facility that was meant to just hold something like this.
No, but he's going to have to talk to Blanche. If they already knew that something was there, they may have something to contain it already. If not, I'm sure Bento could probably come up with something, right? I mean,
without knowledge of, maybe I'm sort of remembering it wrong, but like, I don't think anyone really knows what it is. Even the crazy bastard who got himself killed over it. No.
Well, I mean, we did. I guess we gave them the data. I mean, if they've had some time to work it over, then maybe they could have extrapolated some things. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean,
yeah, maybe they've got something in the works, and when we meet up, they'll have something for us.
Fuck. Well, there's never a dull moment.
Nor should there be. Ha! Did you see that? Never mind. I'm not in my room. Can I just do a quick sidebar on this whole yin yang recurring dream thing? There's 3 Reggies.
2.
A light, a dark, and a pink.
Just
no,
the dark and the pink.
The light one is the pink one. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Eating myself.
So I mean, they probably go round and around for a little while, but yeah, I mean, I guess they sort of both come to the conclusion that, you know, if anybody's going to go, that it's probably going to be them.
Yes.
Are we going to Bento with that?
I think so.
All right. So let's just jump to the office. When you tell Bento he'll do it, he's really happy. He says, "You know what? I'm going to bonus you guys 5 megas each. It's the least I can do. It'll come out of my share on this thing. But look, there is no one, even though I have the ability to, you know, contact anybody in the industry and hire them. There is no one I would rather send out on a dangerous mission than you guys. You have pulled through again and again under the most ridiculous conditions. I understand that the planet needs to be shut down. I understand that in some hands this might be a very dangerous find, but it's not in some hands. It's in your hands, and I trust it there. Now, you're going to have to choose 2 of your team to go with you.
Yeah, Reggie and I discussed this. We took little Kim and Tom. Duke's had a rough go the last couple of times, and Julio and Reggie have some things I guess they need to work out before we want to.
Nothing needs to be worked out. It is what it is. It's how it's going to be.
Nash just kind of like shakes his head. Like, yeah.
Bento looks at Reggie for a minute and then back at Nash. He feeling okay?
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll circle back around when we come back.
This right here, he points at a screen and it pops up so you can see it.
Oh.
I'm in the middle of preparing the filing for blacklisting the planet Drir. This is a document I was in the middle of creating when you guys walked in. Just wanted to let you know, as soon as this mission is over, this gets filed.
And they're not going to put up a fuss.
I've got an agreement.
I guess it's the best we could hope for. I just hope it doesn't come back to bite us later.
I also got you one of these, and he presses a button somewhere, and the screen changes to an image of, it looks like a medical bay, sort of, or like a coffin also. It's a concealment. It's a man-sized containment vessel. It's like lined with multiple sheets of various types of thick metal designed to repel all sorts of forces, both physical and electromagnetic, radiation, um, and various toxins known to man. So this is the casket, as he affectionately calls it. You guys will be taking with you. Uh, this will be what you'll bring that sample back in.
Sweet. Called it.
All right. This thing, have their eggheads found out anything useful about this creature? Properties, anything we should be aware of? I know the notes were incomplete.
It turns out that some of the eggheads over at X Investments, or one of their contactees, was able to complete the program that Mentaka had been working on. What it was attempting to do was determine all of the possible shift vectors available given the DNA sequence of the sample that he'd brought into the lab. And it turns out that their ability to shift is limited to creatures that they have some awareness of. The mimic, as they call it, is not truly sentient and yet capable of recording its sensory impressions within the molecular structure of its own DNA. Anything that it sees, it can take on the appearance of. Anything that it hears, it can mimic the sound of. Anything it ingests, it can mimic down to the molecular level.
Yeah. Reg,
Well,
that dog. Remember the dog?
That fucking dog. Well, maybe that means that wasn't really the dog then. You know, that's interesting. I thought maybe it could have been like the dog. Just, But I guess that's our answer. Don't get ingested.
As far as we can tell, the cellular mechanisms have a fractal quality, meaning that the beast can be broken into parts of different sizes. That way, it makes it difficult to tell whether there is only one or a multitude or various colonies. That much we can't answer. Maybe your expedition will discover something.
All right. Shit, Reg, anything?
Actually, yeah, I got one question. We've probably already covered this, but was there any differentiation between the creature itself and the general fog that was on the planet, or was the fog the creature? Is the creature the fog? What was the deal with all of that?
We've been able to determine nothing about the relationship between the creature and the atmospheric conditions. There doesn't seem to be any direct connection.
Well, okay, I guess we don't really have... Okay, all right. Doesn't seem to be any direct connection. It just sort of uses it as, like, camouflage for now, we'll go with.
That could be the case, certainly. The mimics, remember, are not sentient. Their structure is more fungoidal than mammalian or reptilian. They're a sort of rhizomic fungal mass, which can clump together, unclump, and reform itself, depending on what patterns it finds available within its DNA memory. This would make it an ideal predator, and it could be that it takes advantage of atmospheric conditions in order to stalk its prey.
And we only need a piece of this thing.
Like I said, there's no telling where one mimic ends and the other one starts. A piece of a mimic is a mimic.
I mean, I guess we could start back at the scientific.
Now, you guys know better than Bento does, but you've actually been the business end of blowing these things to bits. You do know that if you put enough holes in them, they lose the ability to reconstitute. You've seen them clump together, but you've also blown them apart so bad they couldn't clump together.
It strikes me, Bento. If we need a piece, that's fine. Who's to say what makes a mimic? I suppose. But for added security, as we are unsure what the conditions are on the ground right now, perhaps flame weapons would be a necessity for this mission.
I don't know what effect fire will have on them, but I'll certainly get you some flamethrowers. Sure.
Nice.
All right, yeah, I think that's gonna. I think that may. You put enough holes in it seems to disincorporate. But if we set it on fire, man, I don't think there's too much it's going to be able. It's not going to be able to come back from that.
You got it. He pulls up a screen and requisitions 4 flamethrowers.
Nice.
These things have a range of only 30, 40 feet.
Yeah.
Perfect. Up close and personal, just where we want to be.
Pretty close, yeah.
All right. Out of character, I can't think of anything that we would need to know that we don't already know.
How about this? So how big is this casket thing? Is it like it's the size of a human?
It's a little bit larger than an actual casket.
Is that in any way indicative of the amount of the size of the sample they're expecting to get back?
Not necessarily. They come in different sizes though, and this one's large enough to contain a human cadaver.
Grim portents, am I right? So what about when? So is there any discussion on? Because we can't just be carrying this thing with us when we blow it to bits. We sort of avoided touching it last time because of what it seemed to do. So how are we transporting it from?
You not only touched it, you played with it. You rubbed its belly.
Oh, that's right.
The dog.
The dog. Didn't I hug one of them? Not in like a nice way. I didn't. Yeah, it was just a puppy. Okay, so we touched it. We touched it. I touched it.
Okay, so we know that its touch is not particularly, toxic or corrosive or anything.
Okay, we'll just be running through the woods with armfuls of jelly. It'll be great.
Maybe we could put like a little repulsor on that thing. We just push it around with us.
Jesus, I mean that seems like a good idea. Except for maybe we think about that's an extra sort of thing to think about when we're in combat. I can't imagine this is going to go easy, But I suppose if we can sort of have it hover along with us, yeah, that'd be cool. We could tether it to one of us. It'll be cute.
Bento, do they make these smaller kind of holds his hands up like lunchbox size? If we just get a chunk, we could just carry that around with us.
Can we retrofit one of Silas Audacian's lunchbox merch with the sort of technology that's in sort of this casket? Because I know Nash probably has a whole closet full of those things. Reggie punches himself in the face.
They do come in different sizes, and Bento has no idea what to say to Reggie's comment, so he just ignores it completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll order one of those. It'll be here later today.
All right, great. What's the ETA for getting out of here now?
Well, except for the requisition that you just requested, could be any time.
All right, I guess we'll leave in the morning then.
All right, so you guys are probably going to want to go meet with Tom and Kim.
Yep, give them a debrief.
Yeah, I don't think we have to play it out, but I'm gonna assume that you spend a little bit of time briefing them on what they're gonna see up there on Drir.
Yep. And run another couple of simulations then through the holodeck if Julio can figure out how to mimic that atmosphere. Like we have, the video cams and all that stuff. So like obviously it's not the same, but
Oh yeah, nice idea. And yes, Julio completely succeeds in mimicking the atmospheric conditions. So you get the visibility right, and he even has some shimmering forms. Was that a human form? And then you can't tell anymore.
nice. Yeah, so he just drills them through, the ass end of the day, just running missions through Drir.
Okay, so I think we're probably on the same page. I think the mission, and correct me if I'm wrong, is to bring back alive. Um, I would lean toward the smallest sample you can consider alive.
Yeah, a chunk, a piece, whatever, like a football piece size, I guess maybe
Mm-hmm.
something that's big enough to like he thinks would hold its cohesion, as opposed to like a golf ball, which may not be big enough to sustain it, but like a football, maybe that's big enough for it to do whatever it is that it does.
Okay, brains roll, Nash. Actually, both of you can do this, but it's not hard.
I got a 3.
5.
Yeah, Reggie is the one that remembers the flyers. We saw a flock of flyers go overhead. There was like 20 of them. And they turned at one point and they spoke to us, but if we could like catch just one of those.
Oh, damn. Remember those flyers? Remember those?
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
They're like said words to us. Those were mimics. We know that. We could just grab one of those. If we could just grab one of those.
I'll have to make sure we take a couple of nets then. I don't know if they'll break apart. We need to get a real fine mesh.
A fine mesh is a fine idea.
Okay,
fine.
you have you could bring a stun gun. Don't know if it'll work on these creatures, but you could bring one. You could bring a concussion rifle, shoot a ball of supermassive air at it.
I like that idea. Probably the best.
Yeah, try that and knock it out of the sky, knock it down. He would also he would also go, old school and bring some kind of like thin metal fabric mesh net that they could throw as well.
You could bring a net gun.
Well, there you go.
Such as used by law enforcement on rioting prisoners and people in the streets who get too rowdy.
Nice. Yep, they're loaded down with everything.
Yep. Put a couple more requisitions in there.
Okay, so Bento's footing the bill for this, but it sounds like you're probably going to spend like $2 megabucks on. You should write this down for me. Net guns, concussion rifles, and stun guns,
flamethrowers.
and flamethrowers.
Yeah,
I don't think they bring 4 flamethrowers. I'd want to have at least 2.
Yeah, like 2 of each.
All right, write that down. Two of everything.
Net gun, concussion rifle.
Because you got 4 people, so that gives everybody a weapon in each hand.
Yeah, dual wielding. Oh yeah.
Well, it gives us options. It's the thing, right? I mean, that's we want to be prepared. And then that the plan would be then to go back to that scientific dome, because Dan said that when it was sending out the pulses, it was bringing them in. So we don't even have to try to hunt for them necessarily. Go back in, fire Dan back up.
Good call. Yeah.
and draw them in. And then there's 4 of us this time. So, I mean, we could even sit out in that blasted open space if it's still as such and wait for them to get close enough. And
did we ever determine what that was? I feel like we don't even know what that was.
There was a couple. You remember when we were hovering over, there was a couple of spots.
Yeah, but we sort of didn't one of us. We sort of thought that maybe they didn't enter those areas, but then they did totally enter those areas.
It's just areas where there's fewer trees or where the ground is kind of sunken, maybe a little bit more wet.
So no apparent cause or function.
Well, random natural circumstance. You encountered another such clearing about 10 kilometers out.
Okay. Well,
it's just like an earth forest. Once in a while you come across a clearing. There's no fucking reason. The trees just never grew, haven't reached that area yet, or something happened there a long time ago.
I might have drawn some sort of correlation between like where the dome was positioned within the clearing. They could have just been, but good.
Oh well, they definitely chose a clearing on purpose.
Yeah,
just because it's easier to land a ship and set up a dome.
Right. Yep. That's probably all it was.
Red, do you think you could bring the Marduk in right next to that thing? Because last time we had to hoof it. It'd be nice if we could.
I'll give it a shot. I don't think it should be any problem.
All right. Try to make this as easy as possible.
Oh yeah, in and out, 5x5, no problems. In other words,
that's the Reggie I remember.
Yeah, see, you get me out of my room, and it's like back to normal, except for that guy over there. But we don't worry about that.
He starts to look and then just like shakes his head because he knows
he's gone. He's already gone.
All right.
I'm trying to see if I can select the window that I want to share. And it's not letting me do it.
I guess Nash probably texts Scylla too. And then lets her know, like, hey babe, we're gonna finish this thing we have outstanding. We get back, I'll talk to Bento. We'll see if we can't find some, cush exotic place that we can get you set up on.
Hey babe, I think I found our place. It's called Mauki 4. Have you heard of this? Or maybe it's Mauki 5.
Brains roll?
Yeah, okay.
I got a 4.
You don't know anything about it, but you think you remembered that there's a resort on a planet in a dream universe, where the people are like, they're kind of like a cross between humans and centipedes. They're like walking, talking centipedes of some kind. You saw a picture one time. They have two large legs that they walk upright on, and then like 8 small little graspy legs, and long like a porpoise snout kind of a thing. And they actually speak, and they're intelligent. They build, roads and buildings and shit. And they have, apparently they're friendly.
Human centipedes?
Yeah, a little bit like maybe that.
Damn it!
Like he texts her back. He's like, "Whew, that sounds interesting. Do you have a B plan? Like, is there something else you had your eye on? If this one doesn't come through, I mean,
that's all I've got. Listen, I've got to run because Corey talked me into doing a girl scene, and we're gonna do it in the fountain in front of the Bellagio 9.
All right. Well, have fun. I guess I'll see it when I get back.
And you hear some devious female laughter from. Apparently, she dropped her phone. Yeah, you don't know what those girls are doing. She's kind of lost track.
You
of
know what
herself.
those girls are doing.
All right. I'm going to put you on the ship in a minute, but first, it's about midway through the session, so I'm going to go grab some coffee and be back in a minute or two.
All righty. There's no way Nash tells you about this.
Oh, but I see it in your
Unless I
eyes.
have to.
Oh, that was you've got this weird shimmer in your eyes there, Nash. What's going on?
I mean, she's been on me about, she needs a new location. She found this place. I don't know. I'm going to look around and see if there's anything that might be a little bit better fit, for us to kind of work around.
Yeah, you used a lot of euphemistic terms in that whole thing you just said. Now, where was it? Where did she say?
I forget, something with an M. I'll talk to her again when we get back.
I mean, that should be cool. A cool little vacation for you, maybe after this.
Well, I mean, it's us, right? I mean, she wants to go and shoot, and then obviously we're security for that. So,
I mean, I don't think that's how that. What? Oh, I see what you're saying. It's for the show. I thought it was like.
Yeah, no, for the show. Yeah.
Okay, so we need to scout out another location. I'll get it. Yeah. I get things. Okay. I mean, if I'm sure she'll just set it up with Bento, and we'll just sort of go.
And then he kind of like, fuck.
I don't know.
I didn't really thought about that.
Yeah. I don't want to go, but if it's something that's, I mean, listen, you make your own team. You don't have to take me on any of this,
No, you're it's you and me, man.
Well, no, I mean, I know that, but like this could be something, this could be something real, You don't want Reggie tagging along on something real,
Maybe she's gonna bring Corey with her.
I don't do that.
She's got to shine for you,
I don't care. There is no. That isn't anything. There is nothing that is happening there.
All right, I'm just
I
throwing it out there.
appreciate it. There's just way too much. Oh, look, our ship. Okay. Look,
We're there.
We've arrived at our ship. The good old mod.
So and you know what? Yeah, and we were unsure last time, so we sort of I think we sort of skipped over it, but it is in fact aerodynamic, atmospheric capable.
She's just a fine ship.
She is a fine vessel.
It's a fine vessel.
Although really it's like you guys could use an even bigger ship. If you could get 2 more people on this thing.
It'd take the whole team.
Yeah.
But it's so beautiful. Could we are there options to just, well, maybe are there bigger versions of the Marduk?
You could have one built with 2 more cabins on it. It would just cost a few megas more. I mean, this one's worth 224.
Oof. Okay. Well, that's out of my price range.
So out of character, is this Did Bento purchase this ship, or is this like a rental that they use when we go and do things?
No, Bento actually purchased it.
Okay. Well, I mean, Reg, we haven't had a need for a whole team mission yet, but things have got to be going pretty well. Maybe we could talk Bento into bumping up to the next model.
I mean, I don't really know. Look, all that tactic stuff is sort of your forte, or however you pronounce it in this particular sentence. But, yeah, the technical stuff is your thing. I just don't see why every mission isn't a full team mission. There is always something someone can do. An extra pair of eyes is just always good.
Well, Reg, it's probably all about the money.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But, that's just sort of my take on it. If you have a team, send the whole team. If it's a good team, like we're a good team, we'll find something for everyone to do that can help out the mission.
I mean, if nothing else, right? I mean, you give us more room. If, we did a couple of these search and rescues already, give us some more flexibility to get people out.
Oh, absolutely. That's a no-brainer.
No, maybe it's on his list of things to do.
Maybe, yeah, something to think about, something to talk about. Of course, we'll all be mimics at the end of this mission, so it will be anyway.
Well, let's hope not.
And you gotta have a sense of humor about it, or else it'll make you cry. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, okay. You did.
And I stand by it.
Into the ship. And your computer, the Tiamat, has just received a software update. It has received a copy of the Mimic biochemistry analysis program that Mintaka had been working on. It had been forwarded to Dark Matter from X Investments. I have just completed my new upgrades, Captain. Now, you got to remind me, does the ship recognize Reggie? Because Reggie's usually the pilot. And by what name?
Oh, shit. What was it? Okay, you know what? We're going to change it up anyway. It's just, you can just refer to me as Uncle Reggie. I'll be your Uncle Reggie. And also, I would like to know, because I was sort of unaware of your upgrade, what was the name of this version? What's Tiamat version what?
I'm a Tiamat Mark III, serial number 539602025.
Yeah, but the software upgrade, they always give them those cute little names like Pie or Candy Bottom or something. Did they give this one a special name?
The code name of my research project was Rhubarb.
Oh, that's so cute. Version Rhubarb. Okay, thank you.
I am pleased to inform you that the data format of the scanning routine sent over from X Investments will interface successfully with my data analysis scanners. This may allow me to locate mimic samples at range.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Starting to look like easy money, Reg.
Well, you just jinxed it.
All right, so it's Reggie's turn to roll some dice. This is your slip dynamics roll.
Slip dynamics. So psych, right? I do that psych deal, and I add.
And we have Tom and Kim, right?
Mm-hmm.
Strapped in and back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see some of these fuckers, says Tom.
Well, so 4 is my highest, plus 2 on the slip dynamics, so 6 total.
There's a familiar tingling sensation that cuts your body in half, and it's freezing cold on one side and super hot on the other. reality starts tingling. It starts from your center, and then it goes outward, and then it fades as your awareness of the universe disappears. You feel buffeted around for a couple seconds, and then you materialize. You're in the air, hovering within visible range of the location of the Vidome. Now I'm going to stop that screen if I can. Sorry, the dramatic timing is so bad.
We made it.
It'll all sound better in post.
Okay, you are now flying at low speed and low altitude over the clearing where the Vidome is located. You can barely make out the original vessel, the Delphina, anymore. It's completely covered with moss, lichen, blue and purple fungoid rhizomes.
Before I bring this in, Tiamat, can you just do me a quick scan you do on the area? Anything showing up on any of your scan things?
And you know what? I may have lied to you.
Well, Reg, take us in low and slow. At least let's get a visual. Make sure the dome is still standing. There's no holes. Make sure everything looks copacetic.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to do that in conjunction with the computer sort of doing the same thing too, you know?
Yeah, I did lie to you. The ship lacks a long-range scanner.
That's right. I remember that from the last time we tried to do this bullshit. So let's just pull it in nice and easy and take a low flyby and do a short-range scan. Can I do that?
Yeah, but you did just suggest something as well. There are long-range scanners, or no, not long-range, but maybe medium-range on the Vidome itself. So Dan could do a longer-range scan if you got this software into him.
Oh, okay. Let's go. All right, let's get this software into Dan. So I'll bring it in, and I'll try to get it as close to the Viadome as I can. Also, just sort of checking the area as we go.
I mean, does the dome look like it's intact?
Mm.
You know, is that
Is there
area around it still, like, you know, doesn't have a lot of vegetation, like just general stuff?
Can I even land it here?
Well, that's true too, I guess.
Yeah.
I am not enjoying this screen sharing routine. Not working for me. Let's provide feedback to the StreamYard crew.
I can do that.
Because I've just opened a new window, but I can't make the old drop-down go away, so it's not refreshing the choices and it doesn't see the new window. Now I try share screen again, and it pops up again. Still the same set of windows. Let's see if the clipboard works.
Is this like an early version of this program?
It's in beta, but I think Todd is right in that they probably are looking for the person hosting the stream to probably be manipulating that stuff.
Well, they shouldn't. Well, because I have a share screen button, so maybe if that's the case, they should not have that.
Yeah.
And so I just tried sharing what it called my clipboard because I had copied the image I wanted to share, but it just turned blue. It was all I saw. It was a blue screen of death, basically.
No!
I'm going to try one more time just to be a pain in the ass. Now it's on there. Okay. You should see it in a second. Lag too, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. This is the first time that we're really experiencing this, I feel like, because we've used it a number of times now.
It just popped up for me.
Yep, there it is.
Ha!
Crazy. Okay, so made the slip dynamics roll. Did we make the? We didn't make the roll.
He did. I think he had a
did,
6.
Yeah, 6 total.
You
So
did.
we
Okay.
it over the Viadome.
Okay. Reggie, that was a yes, and you want to put it anywhere you like. Just tell me where you put it, and you don't need to roll.
I'd like to set her down within like a very short walking distance to get into the dome itself. Right next to it. Let's just go right next to it.
This is the perfect landing.
Oh,
Smooth.
damn.
Yeah.
I did it. We did it.
Nice. Good job, Reg.
Hey,
Tom comes up and claps you on the shoulder. He's like, "It's like you've done this before."
Yeah.
All right, Kim pops up. She's got a flamethrower in hand. She's like,
Oh,
"Let's
she's
go
ready.
see some of these fuckers. I'm ready."
All right. Everybody suits on.
Want to toast me a mimic?
All right. I love the enthusiasm. Let's gear check. Let's make sure everything is square and tight before we get out of here. Oh, so out of character. Would it be an electronics check to try to remove the programming and put it on Dan? Or is that more of a software thing?
Yeah, let's get that going.
It is more of a computer than electronics.
Okay.
However, I don't think it's a particularly hard thing to do, so I'm going to give you a brains roll for it.
All right. Am I adding
Dan,
electronics or just straight?
Remember that the majority of the program was written in a language that Dan is already compatible with. Dan was the computer that the program started being written on.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So it's fortunate that it's compatible with the Tiamat, but it's obvious that it's compatible with Dan. All you have to do is make a copy of it and install it.
All right. And I did pick up that electronics pro kit, so here's hoping. I got an 8.
Nice.
Yeah, no problem at all. That's a yes and. So, greetings, Jack. I am Dan. Remember that the place was not intended to sit out here for 2 months, and so all the power was down. You guys had to recharge it and boot Dan back up again.
Mm-hmm.
So Dan is just waking up. Oh, you know what? You probably still have the same ident cards. So he does, in fact, recognize you as the same person that he remembers from before. It is very pleasing to be in your company again. I am programmed to be friendly and helpful.
and you are, Dan. We're glad that you're still here and you're doing okay. Dan, I have a program here that I want to upload. Do you remember the stuff that Dr. Montaka was working on? We have a completion of that programming, and I'd like to install this in you and have you do some scans in the area, see if you can't find us one of these creatures.
Please install the disk. I will see what I can do.
Can the end be that I install it without having another roll?
Yes, and
we're actually talking out the procedure itself, but there's no real need to. The roll was the roll, and it was not difficult to load this into Dan. He's pleased to recognize that the program has been completed. He recognizes the code immediately, and says that his long-range scanners can now interface up to a range of 10 kilometers.
Damn.
Whoa.
Well, Dan, I'm going to need you to run. Remember before when you were running those scans and the creatures were coming close? I'm going to need you to repeat that on an hourly basis. We're going to see if we can't get one of these things coming close to this Vidome here.
I will be pleased to do so, Jack. Initiating now.
Thank you, Dan. And
So Kim and Tom are just walking around. They sort of casually go into every room and make sure, there's nothing weird going on. This place is a wreck, says Kim. What the hell you guys do here?
What didn't we do here?
yeah, that wasn't us. So the team that was here, well, the doc went crazy, and he killed the other team members.
It's an understatement.
Yeah, it was. They did not have a good time.
Tom says, well, we don't need to live in filth. Come on, Kim, help me move this couch over here. They start cleaning up
Damn.
All right.
while you guys are checking out the scanners. In the first hour, nothing happens. You guys, now, Tom and Kim have made the, room B nice and cozy again. They put the bookshelf back together, and there's quite a selection of media entertainments and games up here. So there's no shortage of entertainment, says Tom. Too bad they're all out of booze. He holds up an empty bottle.
Damn. You just right into it.
Look,
This is a pretty cush job, and they're going to come to us. We don't even need to go out hunting them down. We just got to wait. We just got to wait until one of them shows up and then figure out how many bits to blow it into.
Well, that's what we're hoping. Stay frosty.
Ah.
It is a little cool in here. Dan apologizes and alters the thermostat settings.
Nash makes sure that the generator's topped off with water and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, actually, the Vidome can break down any organic matter, and this is something that a lot of people don't often talk about. But you have a septic tank in your suit and another one on your ship, and you can go ahead and dump those into the molecular breakdown system, and you can get Dan going and also dump your crap.
Yeah,
fair enough.
At the same time. So Dan is full of shit basically, and he's replicating. Some of this will show up in your food later.
No!
When he 3D prints your meal, you never know. You never know what molecules are coming from where. In the second scan, Dan says, I have a reading, Jack.
Ah, excellent. How far out, Dan?
It's just at the edge of my sensor capability, roughly 10 miles north by northwest of here. And you're like, that sounds right around the area where you guys had encountered the dog and the mimics of yourself before. He says there is a large unmoving mass which seems to be of mimic sample tissue. However, it is the largest such mass my sensors have ever picked up. Easily 4 meters in length and a similar width.
That's pretty big. I wonder if it's pulled all of its parts back into itself. Dan, is there any way you can intensify the signal? Maybe perhaps draw it closer?
Okay. This would be an electronics maneuver and probably not real easy. The scanners are mounted on the outside of the Vidome,
Mhm.
and they are connected somehow via cable to Dan. But if you could rig up some sort of transmission system, like a microwave uh, two-way transmission system, you could, in theory, separate one of the sensors from the dome and have it send its data back to the receiver, which is connected to Dan. Then you could walk around with it out there up to
Hmm.
whatever the microfrequency range was. This would be a pretty tricky maneuver, and it'll take you hours to do it.
If I fail, is it gonna fuck the whole thing up? I mean, I don't
If
want to
you
break what we have.
if you fail really bad, yeah.
I guess that's fair. So he turns to the group then. And he says,
You're thinking of taking apart two radios and hooking them to the same frequency and then using them to communicate over distance from the sensor to the dome.
"Yeah." And there's no like extra parts like in the storage room where I wouldn't have to like disassemble the main unit, maybe splice something in? Or is that too specific of a piece of instrumentation, probably, right?
That's a really good question. Hang on.
I know they had a bunch of stuff.
You
I
know
don't
what?
know that.
There are tools, supplies, and test equipment. So I'm just going to roll a die here. Yes, in fact, there are two radio units that you can use, microfrequency radios.
Hey, guys, so Dan's picked up one of these things, but it's like 10 clicks out, which isn't too bad in the suits, but it's big. It's the biggest thing that Dan's seen. It's 4 meters by 4 meters. So we haven't encountered anything that large. But I think if I can splice this radio in, we can get out there and kind of direct it. We might be able to draw it in a little bit closer. You know, pump the volume, so to speak.
Ooh, that'd be ideal.
I mean, we could take shifts. We could go 2 by 2. I don't want anybody out here alone. They've been in the Vidome before, so
Well, not only will we do whatever you say, Captain, says Tom, but you've been here before. We have no input that's more meaningful than your own experience. Whatever you say, sir.
If you think you can rig that up, that'd be a good little strategy.
all right.
Kim says if you can bring them in, I'll take them down. She's
we can
really
set up an
looking forward to
ambush.
using this flamethrower.
Yeah. It'll be
All
like
right.
an ambush.
Fair enough. He goes into the storeroom. You know, brings back the radio, starts taking everything apart, and we get as much done like on the table as he can before he's got to go out and like start splicing stuff together.
Okay, so this is hard, which means that you're doing, I guess it's brains plus your electronics. You need
Yep.
to beat 5.
All right. I rolled the 5, so that's a 7.
And that is a yes and.
Nice.
Okay. So yes, you managed to hook it up in just a couple hours time. And what else happens that's good?
With the increase in frequency, the form starts to move closer to the dome.
Okay.
Directly into the casket.
I'm going to modify that just a little bit. The majority of the form stays right where it is, but some smaller ones move away from it. And at the low resolution image that you've got at this range, you can't tell whether they were two smaller ones that were standing nearby or whether they literally broke off of the original mass. visually it looks the same.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
But there are 3 smaller masses now coming toward the biodome.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say he's out there with Tom. Tom's helping him hold, giving him tools and shit. And then he just jumps on the radio and he says, "Look, we got 3 inbound. I want you guys out here and get ready."
Okay, and where are you exactly when you do this?
You said it had to be hooked up outside, so I'm assuming I'm outside with the.
So, like, standing just outside the dome?
Yeah, within 5 or 6 feet. He's probably ranged away a little bit.
Okay.
And then he's got the small box next to him on the ground. Shit, if we're parked right there and it's coming in, I'm like, so when Reggie and Kim come out, I'm like,
well, you've still got over an hour before it gets here. I mean, it's got to go 10 kilometers.
Right.
In fact, you've got over 2 hours.
Why don't you guys go grab that casket? They look small, but we've got this one here, but might as well get them both ready.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we do it.
All right. Y'all are outside. You've got the casket. Are you going to move toward them? And by the way, yes, they're still coming this way.
No, I want to pull them all the way in. Based on our experience from last time, there was blue goo on the inside, so we know they're not scared of coming in close. And there's no point in putting us in any danger and being out into the forest if we don't have to be.
Okay, so you're out there in the shifting atmosphere. You see shadows and weird things. You're constantly feeling like you're being watched. You're out there for 1 hour, and Tom is getting a little spooked. He keeps on thinking he sees something and turning. It's messing with his head a little bit. It's really paranoid, First hour, nothing happens. They are still moving this way, reports Dan, and he sends out another scan. Second hour passes, and Dan reports they're still moving this way. Tom is still feeling really shaky.
Dude, it's like, Tom, you all right over there?
I've been in some bad weather conditions where some shipment went down. I've lost men in conditions like this, and I don't like it when I can't see.
Well, look, we know they're coming. We were already here before. So just take a deep breath. Just keep your back to the dome. You'll be all right.
A few minutes later, Kim is the first one to say, "Here it is." She points out toward the edge of the clearing, and it is that dog.
Oh, my puppy.
All right. Fuck, what was it? Reg, what the fuck was the dog's name?
Beta.
Beta, that's right. Named after... All right, never mind. Beta, that's so meta. So Reggie will go out and I'll call to Beta. Wait, hold on. Wait, before I do that, we've got a net, right? The net.
Yeah. So Kim's got the flamethrower.
Yeah.
You could have the net, or I could have the net. We could both have nets, I guess. Doesn't matter.
Maybe we don't flame because the dog will fit right in the casket. It'll fit in there. I don't want it. I just don't. Do we want to blow the dog to bits?
No,
I know it's probably not really the dog, but oh my god!
Look, if you touched it before, right? It'll let you close. So, like, if you can bring it in, then we can maybe get a net on it.
Okay.
We casket and we get right the fuck out of here.
You know what? It's probably better if I don't know. So I'm just going to go ahead and call Beta. Okay, just let me know when you're ready. Let's get in position. Frosty.
All right. So out of character, are you shooting it or am I shooting it?
I'm not. I'm gonna go out there with open arms, baby.
This thing is still a little far for your close range weapons.
Yes, but I'm gonna draw it in close. Hopefully, maybe it recognizes me, and then I'm gonna just betray its trust.
Okay, will you walk?
I'm
Will
just-
you walk all the way up to it, halfway?
Well, I'm gonna try to call it so
Like,
that it comes to me.
Say it's like 10 meters away. Are you separating yourself from the group?
No, I want them to be in a position to take it when it gets close to me.
Okay.
So if you start to move up to it,
Yeah.
and you're calling it, come here, beta,
Yeah.
and you start to walk 10, it's 10 meters away. I will range to the right,
Uh-huh.
net gun arm,
Yes.
shoulder,
Yes.
and then I will try to snag it before you can touch it.
Yeah, that's fine. Also, I feel like Lil Kim wants to use that flamethrower, so maybe we can just. I don't know what to do about that. She seems really, really hot on that trigger. Maybe we just kind of let her. Maybe we just bring in the rest of it and let her blow something to shit. I don't know.
All right, Kim, stay on Overwatch. You and Tom.
Yeah, just
you're
don't
right.
flamethrow me. Maybe because I'm very flammable, and I'm willing to bring this thing in and
Reggie
betray
steps
it.
forward a little bit, and he begins calling to the dog.
But Beta, remember me? Hey, Beta.
The dog stops and sits up. It's looking at you intently, and then it barks.
Hello.
It barks once like a dog,
Oh shit.
and it turns and runs back out into the forest.
Oh fuck.
God damn it.
Well, that didn't work. I mean, we're not going to chase it. That's stupid, right?
Was it close enough for me to get a shot with the net or no?
Not with a net. You could have used a rifle or concussion rifle.
No, I said I had the net. I was trying to scoop it up as we kind of both went out to snag.
Yeah, that was my plan. I'm sorry.
No. I thought maybe it would come to you. I mean, but didn't the dog lead us on a chase the last time too?
Yeah, it did. Oh, we got led. We definitely got led into some sort of an ambush.
Yeah.
Remember the things kept coming up and it was leading us away. Yeah, no, that wasn't. We shouldn't follow it. Damn.
That wasn't the dog though.
No, it wasn't the dog, but it was someone else. But like the dog, it was all part of the same situation, maybe.
Ish.
Sort of. Yeah, ish. Ish is good. Either way, if we're operating under the premise that it's all sort of the same mimic, we just can't chase any of this. It's early still.
Yeah, we've got time. You guys got eyes on those other two?
They both report in the negative. Dan says they're still out there. The dog separated from the two of them and ran ahead while they stayed out there at range.
Ah, fuck. How far, Dan? Edge of the clearing?
About 100 meters beyond.
Fuck. He ranges back, grabs the receiver again, and starts fiddling with it. Tries to get a little bit more bump out of it. He's fishing now.
Yeah. The dog comes back. Once again, sits at the edge of the clearing, and it looks at you intently. It barks once.
Tom, you want to take a shot with that concussion rifle? If we could knock it down, you might be able to get a net around it. It's gonna have to be bang bang. And so like Nash starts waving the receiver on it, right? So there's sound waves coming out of it, trying to engage it like you get a fucking flashlight on something, so it follows your.
The dog again turns and runs back into the forest.
Oh, he's a smart fucker.
Yeah, he's a smart son of a bitch.
Doesn't look like it's going to be as easy as we thought.
No, Jeez, okay, so it's definitely trying to lead us away. So the other groups aren't moving closer, right?
No.
Well, look, we don't want to tangle with that big one.
No.
If the other two are still out there, I mean, we have radio contact with Dan. He can let us know where they're going.
What if we see how close we can get the dog to come to the Viodome?
Well, it's not passing the clear, right? So how about this? I'll waggle the fucking receiver again.
You're getting the feeling that it comes just to the edge of the clearing so that it knows you have line of sight, and then it looks at you to make sure you see it.
Yeah.
As soon as it's sure you've seen it, it turns and runs.
How about this? You guys move up to the edge. Okay. I'll try to bring it in again. You guys move up to the edge. As soon as you see it, Tom, you take the shot. Reggie, you fucking net it with the gun before it has a chance to turn or run away.
Okay, I'll do it.
All
Kim,
right, so
you go halfway. Be ready with that flamethrower.
and Tom is the concussion rifle?
Yes.
Okay.
Now I'm wondering, is there something that we can? I mean, because we're in a clearing, like throw up almost some kind of like a blind where the dog can't see them necessarily, but they're like at the edge of the clearing sort of thing. So maybe if you guys just go past the clearing and into what would be the beginning of the woods. So like if it keeps coming out right here at this point, then you guys are flanked on
they can
either
try
side.
to hide down behind rocks
Yeah.
or a large tree or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not really a blind, but it is hiding.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So we do that, and then I stay out in the open, put Kim about halfway in between, and
Right.
then
So depending on where it shows up, different people will or won't have a shot at it.
yep.
All right. And you yourself are going out past the edge?
I don't assume I have that much reach with the receiver.
Oh, you do.
Oh, do I? Yeah, I'd go maybe about halfway out then.
Yeah. You could well, there may be some interference from the trees, but you could probably go several clicks out.
So we want to draw it right up to the edge of the clearing. So if they're like on like the edge of the clearing, like just into the woods, I want Kim in the middle, and then I'm probably next to Kim trying to pull it close because we don't have to chase it into the woods. So if it keeps coming out at the same spot, then they're arranged on either side of that little path coming out of the forest. You know what I'm saying?
The dog does not come back, and after a minute, you hear a voice from out there in the forest, and you've heard it before. It says, "Where are you, you bastard?"
No, damn it.
God damn.
Well,
All
at
right.
least we know no one's been here.
Yeah. All right. It looks like we're going on a hunt.
Little Kim says, "I am right here, motherfucker."
Can you imagine if this thing starts to it starts to mimic Lil Kim? Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
All right. Look, I want everybody 2 by 2. We stay close. I want everybody within visual. We'll get everything out. Tom, you keep that concussion rifle. Reggie, you okay with that net, or you want me to take it?
I'll take it.
Kim, you got the flamethrower. I'm on the 16.
All right. Out we go.
All right, Tom, Reggie, you guys on point.
All right. And we go.
Reggie, okay, we go out. It's spooky. It's quiet. We are whispering over voice comm to each other. Tom especially keeps swiveling a lot. Reggie, you're the first one to see it. It is man-sized and man-shaped, roughly the size of Drail Mantaka, and it's standing behind a tree and sort of pushes its body halfway out, looking at you. It goes, "Now I've got you."
This is as unsettling as I remember.
Easy, Tom.
Pointed out to Tom. There it is. See it? There it is.
Okay, do we have standing orders to fire on site?
No, it would be to try to get close enough to hit it with the concussion to knock it down so Reggie could net it. Right, because I know our ranges are different, right? So the range of the net gun's, 20, 30 feet.
Okay, so you said 2 by 2. So my assumption is Jack and Reggie are. Oh no, because then you later said Reggie and Tom on point.
Yeah, we're on point.
Yeah, but
Okay, so
little Tim and I are like right behind them. Like we're within, a little farther than arms to on us within visual.
Okay, so at the moment he spots it, and only because of the angle he's at, Reggie is the only one who could possibly get off a shot. Reggie, what are you armed with?
I have the net gun, so I'm not. I mean, if it's poking out from behind a tree, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's only halfway poking out.
Yeah, we gotta flush it out.
Okay, so you report that you've got visual. Everybody turns to look in the direction you're looking at, which means Tom can now see it. Do I take the shot? He's got half cover.
How far away is it?
5 meters.
Oh, 5 meters. Shit. Yeah. Tom takes a shot. Reggie, move left, right? So like if Tom is shooting from like this angle, I want Reggie to come around the other way. Because if it blows him back, I want Reggie.
Well, you know what? You don't have a whole lot of time. You said Tom take the shot, and Tom takes the shot.
Reggie, go.
All right.
And he blows half of the trunk of the tree off. And you see the mimic sort of blown back in this weird circular area where the blast of air goes through it, and then it reforms itself and becomes a slime mold on the ground and moves away quickly.
Oh shit!
The shot effectively missed, but also, I mean, it partially hit. You saw it sort of distort its shoulder. Didn't seem to do any real damage, though.
Yeah, damage wasn't really what we were going for.
Do we give chase? It's moving away fast.
No, it's gonna come back. Stay tight. Stay close. We just move in that direction.
Okay, so, and when you say that direction, you mean north-northwest?
Yeah, to follow it. And then I don't have, do we still have radio contact with Dan? Or are we too far out?
No, you've got it.
Okay. Dan, can you give us a location on hostiles, please?
The mass has not moved, Jack. There is one directly ahead of you, and one slightly off to its right. The smallest one is moving around rapidly and won't stay in place.
All right. Can they hear? I mean, I assume we can all hear this. We're all kind of mic to Dan, or
why not?
Okay. All right. It's ahead. It's probably leading us back to the mass. Let's try to get some.
No, actually, no. It's just you. I'm going to assume you're using the same fucking radios. You may even be keying in to Dan and looking at the display come back. Because I'm not sure exactly. We didn't decide on data format.
Okay. No, that's fine. So he says, Dan says there's one right ahead of us. There's one off to the right of it. And that mass is still where it was. So let's see if we could clip one of these off before we get too close to that mass side. And he types back to Dan. He's like, let me know when we're within 50 yards of the main creature.
Mm-hmm.
It is deathly quiet. The voices have stopped. You hear no motion of any kind. You keep pressing forward and pressing forward. A little over an hour goes by. Now, this place is often quiet, but usually, once in a while, there's a flock of flyers goes by overhead, or when there's mimics in the area, they try talking to you. And there's mimics out there. They probably watched you walk right by, but they're not making a sound. And then Dan lets you know 50 meters directly ahead is the large mass. Now, all you see is trees and fog.
Yeah. All right. So he calls for a halt. Says, main creatures 50 meters ahead. I don't want to get any closer than this. The two are leading us. They're kiting us along. I think we should start pull back and see whether or not it exposes them.
Affirmative.
And that's when two man-sized creatures drop on you from above. Actually, they both drop on Reggie.
Oh, wonderful.
At the point position on the right. Out of a tree, two man-sized beings fall on you. You're not really ready for this. You were looking ahead, not up. And I don't know. Let's give you a grace roll.
I'll take it.
This is difficult. You need to beat 4.
Can I add anything like the fighting or athletics?
No, because it's almost not grace. Oh wait. Okay, I'm gonna say yes. Because you're fighting, it was military training, which would involve situational awareness and motor memory. I'll give that to you.
All right. Oh, I got a 6 on there, so 8 total.
That is a yes and. Okay, so you send something falling down toward you from above. You roll out of the way and
you net it.
Fire the net at Tom. No, I fire the net at the action. Yeah. Oh, they're in the trees, and then little roll over to the side, and then just open fire the net at the thing.
All right, and though you really didn't get an action this round, you end up getting 2 actions this round because you're just so fucking awesome. So
yeah.
Okay, so this is rifle plus rifle skill minus 1 because it's not actually a rifle.
Perfect. Rifle skill. So minus 1. Okay, minus 1. Oh, that's a 6 plus 1. So 7. Yeah, because my long gun's at a 2.
You have netted one of them. The net wraps around it and it's pulled off balance. The other one was kind of behind you a little bit and it runs back for cover behind the trees.
Oh shit!
And now we can go to action frames. It is defending. It's trying to get away. One of them is under the net. What's everybody else doing?
Nash just yells, grab the net and go. Go, go, go.
Who are you yelling to? I'm not clear.
Everyone.
Yeah, it'd probably take 2 people to grab and pull if it's man size, right? So 150 pounds.
All right, so Tom and Kim rush forward. They help Reggie. They grab the net. The thing inside the net is struggling. It does not seem to be stronger than you all, though, and you do manage to hold the net shut.
All right, we start bolting. I mean, we're in the suit, so we should, be able to make pretty good time. Nash then is gonna do Overwatch on the back, so he's, running, stopping, looking, running. They don't want to get jumped again. And then he's on to Dan. Dan, is the mass moving?
The mass is coming toward you.
Okay.
Faster.
That's not good. More speed ahead.
You're being approached by several other man-sized, man-shaped mimics
Oh God! From what direction?
from the same direction, from the large mass.
Are they gaining? Are they gaining?
The large mass has spawned 2 more. They're moving at a human running speed.
Oh, they're breeding. They're breeding.
Look, we got them. We got them on speed. We're in the suits.
All right.
Stay
Well, then I
calm,
guess
keep
we just
moving.
keep
That's true.
Put your head down and keep going.
Okay, so this is grace rolls from everybody, but with a -1 because you're all helping drag this net.
Oh, I rolled 2 6s, so 5.
Oh, I rolled a 3, which would be a 2.
Oof.
Was I adding anything? Nothing to it, right? Just straight up, Grace.
You're actually subtracting 1.
Right, that's what I mean. So it just I rolled a 3, so a 2. Oh, yeah, 3, 2. Yep.
Reggie, you
I
have
tripped.
yeah, you have stumbled, and that causes Tom to stumble,
Oh shit.
and your mimic gets away.
Damn it!
The net flies open on one side, you and Tom both letting go as you trip and fall over each other.
That's my bad.
It goes off in the other direction. Dan reports there are now 4 man-sized mimics directly north of you.
In the direction we're moving, then?
That means no, that the direction you're coming from, they're moving toward you, and
Okay.
there were 3 before, now there's 4 of them.
Okay.
All right, I think we can. I think we can light some of these up and try again.
Look, are you okay? You guys all right?
Yeah, no, that's my bad. I just, it's that last step was a doozy. I am ready to try again.
Yep, post up, get another net in there. Kim,
Yep, loads up the
Tom
net.
gets back yeah. Put the net or reload the net weapon.
Yep, I'm gonna put little Kim in the front. I want to have
Tom
her.
is up. Nobody's hurt.
Yep.
All
She's
right.
gonna roast the 2. So there's 4 coming. I'm gonna have her watch the right side. She can roast them, and then Reggie try to get another shot. I actually pull out my net gun as well.
I suppose we should just let whatever one is in the lead come through, take out the ones behind it, maybe?
Yeah.
All right. I see I'm learning tactics from you.
Okay, it's just about 30 seconds later. We have visual on 3 of them. They're coming toward you at a run, and they all look like Drill Mentaka.
Oh God, this is gonna be easy.
Now they don't have his features, but they have his body mass and shape.
Yeah.
Fuck
So
that
you're
guy.
within range.
All right, little Kim is up front, so she's the first to fire. Do I have ready to fire?
Yeah, just let one through.
All right. I need to know what everybody is doing because as they break into the clearing, they're running toward you. So everybody, tell me what you're doing. Kim is firing. Is Tom's firing at whatever's nearest?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna let one through, so whatever one's in the lead can just keep coming, and then we're just gonna net the shit out of it.
We're gonna double net it.
Double net it.
Okay,
You've been double netted.
So there's 3 of them going left to right. We'll call them A, B, and C. Lil Kim is firing at C. It is a little bit out of her range. It moves out of her range easily. Tom is firing at B. That's a hit, and it goes flying backward into a tree.
Nice hit.
Okay,
I've
and
got
you guys.
8 with my net gun.
Which one are you firing at?
Whichever one broke through. So we were trying to funnel it.
Okay. So you and Kim were point at this point.
No, I put her up in front of us, right? So we're kind of staggered. Reggie and I are kind of like here. Tom's behind us with the rifle, and then she's out to like if there's two coming from this way, she can just flame a big area while these two come in, and we can hopefully snag one. So you had she did C, Tom did B, so I guess we'd be on A. I'm sorry, that's 7.
And your weapon?
I had a net gun.
You've netted one. And Reggie?
I was doing the same thing. So, I mean, if we have probably netting the same one, we would have coordinated and double netting it. And I
That's
have
an awesome idea. What's your roll?
6. 5 plus 1.
You have double netted one.
What does it mean?
One was blown back into a tree, and the other one is still coming at you. And there's a fourth one out there somewhere, and a new round begins. The one that is coming at you is closest to Kim, so it is throwing itself at Kim. And meanwhile, another one becomes visible. And
That's the first mistake.
It is closest to Nash. Now, Nash and Reggie, you're going to have to try to grab those nets. Prevent it from getting away. But meanwhile, there's another one has just entered the fray, and it's heading toward Nash. So everybody tell me what you're doing.
I mean, I guess we only have a minute. I'm like, Reggie, grab it.
Reggie grabs the net and starts trying to move it. That's what I'd be doing.
Okay, this is a grace roll from Reggie.
Nash is just going to try to like play blocker. If the thing is running towards the both of us, he's just going to try to post it up.
Let's run a king's right, red, white, shallow cross. Hike, break. Let's see. If I'm not adding anything, it's a 4. If I'm subtracting anything, it's whatever. What am I just straight up?
You are straight up.
So just a 4.
All right, you're able to hang on to the net and gather up the parts that are let go of by Nash, because at that moment it body slams into him and knocks him off the whole thing. Yeah, you managed to grab the net closed again before letting the thing go. But meanwhile, Nash is on his ass, and you have taken 1 point of damage to health.
Your ego.
No, it's health. You just broke a rib, Nash.
Oh no.
This thing hit you like a linebacker.
Well, to be fair, he was going in to block him, so I suppose. Oh, Nash, are you okay?
Oh, fuck
right.
that. Oh.
Now Tom is firing the concussion rifle. He hits the fourth one and knocks it back. And Kim is firing the flamethrower. Oh, and she fucking misses again. She is not good with this thing.
She's gonna be pissed.
It still manages to run and evade the whole time she's spraying the area. So this round ends with Nash is on the ground, the wind totally knocked out of him, and a mimic on top of him.
Well, shit.
At that point, you hear Dan's voice in the speaker. Another human-sized mimic has been spawned from the large mass.
Fuck. You just hear Nash.
All right.
They are all turning back around to face you again.
Nash, can you move?
Okay, so there are 3 that are up. 2 of them have been hit by Tom's concussion rifle, but it doesn't seem to kill him. It just slows him down for a second.
Can we say Tom also had a 16 on him? Or we all have like one?
See why not. You could all have a backup weapon, sure.
Yeah, okay.
So in response to Reggie's like, I'm a little busy. Tom, shoot that thing with your gun.
All right.
Shoot it with your gun.
Okay, so everything's happening really fast. So Tom is going to have to spend this round ditching the concussion rifle and getting the other rifle off his back and in ready position. Everybody else, I assume you're just firing at the whichever one is closest to you.
Can I? So I would have had the net rifle in my hand. Can I just like let it go and draw my combat dagger?
Ooh, yeah.
Because it wouldn't have another net in it, right? I don't imagine.
Yeah, but I don't think you're going to have that dagger ready by the end of the round. You are winded right now.
Okay.
You just got tackled and broke a rib.
Okay.
So, yes, you can spend this round doing that, and you're probably going to try to evade or roll out. But I can't see you actually getting into a position to attack.
Okay. Could I just like be defensive then and like dodge?
Yeah, I think you pretty much have no other option.
Okay. Yep. That's fine.
Okay, so for you, that's going to be a grace roll at -1.
Okay.
And everybody else except Reggie is firing. Reggie, this is going to be a grace roll for you to just hang on to the thing.
Okay.
That gives me a 4.
5 straight up.
Nash, you are up, and in the next round you'll be ready to fight. You're on your feet, and you have your weapon in hand, your knife in hand.
Okay.
The one facing off in front of you, a couple tentacles are growing out from behind of it. So it's got arms; they're just sort of hanging at the sides loosely, but these tentacles are growing up, and that looks like it's going to try to smack you with those.
Oh,
Meanwhile, little Kim lets go with her flamethrower. She finally gets one.
Nice.
It begins. I almost want to say melting. It's like where the flame hits it, it turns black and sort of melts off, and then it quickly sloughs off that part of itself, and the rest of it turns into a blob and moves away. She burned about half of it, and it's now like a gooey, oily, bubbly mass on the ground that does not seem to be reconstituting.
Ooh. Ooh.
She didn't totally kill it, but she reduced it in size by half, and that half is not regenerating. And
Right.
Tom spends this round switching guns, so that's it for Tom. And the creatures, Nash, yours is attacking you, and the one that's left on his feet is attacking Tom. You're basically getting away from it and grabbing your knife. It's not able to do anything this round because you succeeded in your roll, so I'm gonna back off what I just said. Instead, we're going to another round.
All right.
No, I left one out. I left the one headed toward Tom out. I got to roll for him. Tom has been tackled and pushed to the ground.
Oh, damn it.
Now it's a new round. Okay, so there's one on top of Tom, one straight in front of Nash, and one in the net that Reggie's hanging on to. And there's another one coming out there in the forest somewhere.
Okay. Fuck, Nash just tries to fucking gash it, I guess. Can I use my Krav Maga with the knife?
I don't know enough about Krav Maga to answer that question.
I don't know. I'm assuming they do weapons training, but
Yes. Yep.
if yes, it's an 8. If not, it's a 6.
Okay, I'm going to say yes, it's an 8. That is a yes and. All right, so yours was trying to launch these 2 tentacles at you, but you've totally got the jump on it. Tell me what you do, and you managed to do 2 points of damage to it.
Yeah, so that he sees the tentacle sort of rear up and kind of like start to quiver, like they're gonna, shoot out at him and club him. So he just gets up underneath and comes up because he's got the knife backwards and just slashes it, like in what would be the face. I don't know that it matters, but like instinct training kicks in, so he goes for the neck and the head.
Okay, so you go for the neck and manage to cleave off the whole head and part of the shoulder, both of which fall to the ground as separate masses. And the head, they just instantly turn into just a sort of a slimy mold thing of about the size of a human head and a human shoulder on the ground. The mold thing is leaking blue jelly, but the head-shaped one it looks like sealing itself back up again. Reggie, grace roll from you, please. Yours is now growing extra legs to try to kick you off.
That's a 4 total without adding anything. 4 on the die.
Well, this round, that's good enough because growing extra legs didn't help it on its rolls much.
I was just trying to get a leg up on the situation.
Tom has got one on top of him. He's on the ground. He manages to get up, but it also attacks him again.
Tom, stop fooling around with that one.
Tom looks up at you, and there's a look of just stone cold fear on his face. He says, I think my suit... And then communication breaks out.
Okay, well, I guess we have to deal with this now. And, I have the damn net. Can I see him from where I am? All right, my turn's over. I did what I was going to do. Never mind.
Well, Kim could maybe grab him, right? I mean,
the last one left is the one that was facing off against little Kim. So let's see what happens there. She's firing at it while it moves toward her, and she wins. She's taken it out. The one that she blew half of away before is now totally dusted, and Kim gets a victory. Kim gets a kill.
Nice.
Yep. Kim is scary.
She is, in fact, screaming, "Ah!"
Now, will the suits will seal automatically? Yeah.
The suits will try to seal automatically.
Attempt to.
Yeah, something has gone wrong with Tom's suit, and it's locking him down and trying to seal itself up.
Okay. Okay. If we're into an action frame, I already know what I'm doing.
All right, let's hear it, because that one that's on top of Tom is just going to fucking slam him again with another tentacle. I
am going to unhook the lunchbox and scoop that shit up off the ground.
Yay.
The head that's reforming.
All right, this is a grace roll.
All right. If I'm adding nothing, I got a 4.
And this is actually a yes and, because the head, having very little say in the matter, rolls a 1.
That makes sense.
So
yes.
Yeah, so it's a yes and. You managed to scoop it up, and what else?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't know. Kick the thing off of Tom. I don't know.
You know what? It doesn't have to be directly the cause and effect of your action. It could be something else good happens.
Does it have to can be somebody else? Maybe I want to help Tom. Can I scoop it up? So now I'm down on the ground, right? So I scoop it up like this, and I see the thing is on Tom, and I just kind of throw my shoulder into it to knock it off of him.
That is exactly what you do.
Sweet.
Okay, Reggie, another grace roll.
Okay.
He's just screaming, "I've got the head! I've got the head! Let's go!"
Oh, that's a 6. I got a 6.
Okay, that's good. You managed to hang on to it, and at that moment, another one enters the clearing.
All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just let go of this one then.
Yeah. Come on, we gotta get Tom and get out of here.
Okay,
all right.
Tom gets up, screaming and firing at the one that had attacked him.
Oh,
You'd knocked it off him, and he gets up and blows holes in it. He just starts
space dementia.
fully automatic fire. He starts blowing holes in it, slices it into a couple pieces that slough off and fall to the ground. A couple of them are large enough to reconstitute, but a lot of it has just been blown to wet blue smithereens.
Mm-hmm.
And little Kim misses another shot on the one that just entered the clearing.
Oh boy.
She's like, I hate this fucking gun!
Oh no.
All right. It is a new round. There is.
I'm like, let's go. Tactical retreat.
Oh.
Okay. The one that just entered the clearing and the one that earlier attacked Nash are both up and unharmed. They're fully mobile right now. So, is anybody engaging them, or are you all retreating?
I assume with the a tactical retreat, like I mean you can't run backwards, but I assume that this is the way I envision it, right? So like Tom is up, so Tom fires off a burst, and we start to move. Like we're kind of running and looking back, I guess, sort of thing. Like you're not like we're faster in the suits.
Yeah.
And now we're not like carrying something. So like little Kim lets off a gout of flame. Tom, lays down some fire with the 16, and then we just fucking bolt.
All right.
Right, just to hold them up some to give
yeah.
us some distance, and then we can jet.
Okay. Everybody is rolling grace right now. You really just want to keep moving back faster than any of them can send an attack in without falling.
Yeah.
Because the ground is mossy, slippery.
Well, I got a 3.
Oh. Got a 5.
Okay. Let me roll for your other people. Okay. Nash, you with your broken rib, you're moving slower than everybody else. You fall to one knee a couple times, and that's all it takes for one of them to close the distance. I'm going to give you a +1 for your suit, but other than that, it's just grace.
Okay. That will be a 7. I rolled a 4, 5, and a 6.
I just got a no, but I'm trying to figure out what it is. No, it didn't hit you, but
Maybe it like knocks me off balance. Like I'm down on one knee and it goes to grab me. It doesn't get me, but it like knocks me over.
no, it didn't hit you. But the one that was last round got out of Reggie's net also gets a chance to attack you.
All right.
And so your total grace roll was what?
7.
All right. It has not closed the distance yet. It is going to attack you. And I think that means it's a new round. Everybody else is just moving away as fast as they can. So the ones that are left are basically piling on Nash.
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, if I'm kind of like, on one foot sort of thing, I want to like stand. I've done this maneuver before. I want to stand, swing my leg out, and hit the fucking jump jet and fucking hit him with a gout of flame.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, that is going to be a grace roll. I'll let me see. Athletics? What do you got?
I got a +1 in athletics.
I'll give you a +1 in athletics, but I'm taking it away again because you're wounded.
Yeah. Oh, my highest is a 4.
That's not going to do it. It creates a nice display and it boosts you up off of the ground just a little bit, but you do not hit the one that's swinging at you with a tentacle. It hits you instead.
Oh boy.
Your suit absorbs 1 point of damage.
All right. Oh,
You take another hit, you'll be locked down.
Oh
Yep.
God.
but I'm on my feet now.
Yeah, at least. All right, and the one that just most recently entered the clearing is going for Kim. Kim misses it again. The thing reaches her. One of those tentacles hits her in the face, knocks her down. Her suit absorbs the damage. New round. We have one on top of Kim and 2 facing off against Nash.
I mean, I'm joining the fray somewhere, probably with Nash because there's 2 on him.
Am I able to bring up my long rifle in this situation or no?
I think you'll spend the frame doing it.
Yeah, because my initial thought was to run, but then Kim got caught up.
2 guys.
In it.
They're within punching distance, so they're going to punch.
Okay, yeah, because I wouldn't have the dagger in my hand still. I don't think, because I had to grab the head and the thing, so I assume that was both hands. And then he flipped it and been running. I mean, I guess I could have said I brought my rifle out, but I didn't. So,
yeah. Okay. So you were down. You must have sheathed the dagger because you needed both hands to get the sample case. Now you're holding the sample case in one hand, and then they come and hit you again. Did you go down again after that?
No, I had stumbled on the grace roll.
Yeah, you'd stumbled. So you're just on one knee. You weren't totally down. Then you get back up on your feet while turning your ass in that direction, but succeeded in doing nothing.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so you're kind of turned away. This is all happening fast, so I need to picture it. You're kind of turned away, but you're on both feet. But in one hand, you've got this sample case.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, I think to draw your weapon is going to take the whole frame for you right now.
How, again, it's happening in moments, but how sturdy is the case? Like, could I club it with the case? Would I risk breaking it? Would I think? Like, because he would have examined it before,
I got my lunchbox. Yeah. Yeah, you can smack a fucker with this.
Yeah, I'm going to do that then.
That's the smartest thing you can do right now because you're kind of turned halfway away and you got this thing by the handle.
Yeah.
No other weapon in hand, but you're in a perfect position to use that torque from your waist up, right?
Yep. Can I throw my athletics into that?
I believe you can.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right. So that wait. Don't roll yet. Let me figure out what everybody's doing because this all happens kind of at once. So Reggie, Nash is going to be swinging at one of them with a lunchbox. You need to take care of the other one. How?
How do I take care of the other one? I think I'm probably just attacking it with hand to hand and trying to push it and get it push it down so that we can escape more.
Okay, so you're gonna hit it with a full body, kind of knock.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give it a little hip, give it a little check. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Little Kim is shouting about how she wishes she had time to change her fucking weapon. She's letting go with a blast on the one that's nearest to her. Tom is also helping take care of the one nearest to her. Tom succeeds in shooting a bunch of holes in the thing. Little Kim succeeds and sets that fucker on fire.
Yeah.
Now, we got 2 of them facing Nash. Okay, so Nash, now give me that roll.
Okay. It's going to be with the athletics of 7.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Okay. First off, you've knocked the head off of the fucking thing.
Nice.
Flying that way, and what else?
The headless body falls into the other one and knocks it down.
Yay.
Oh yeah, yeah. The headless body falls down. The other one just stumbles right over it, and at around that moment, Reggie is diving for it, linebacker style. So he just lands on top of both of them.
Reggie, stop fucking around. Let's go.
I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry.
All right. There's a headless one, and there's a fully functional, healthy one underneath Reggie. And Dan lets you know that there's yet another one coming this way.
Goodness,
yeah,
they're
Nash
not stopping.
Yeah, Nash throws a hand down to him and pulls him up and says, "Let's go, let's go."
All right. Is this a full speed retreat or one of your backward tactical retreats?
No, this is a full out retreat. That one's on the ground under the other one, so we should have a little bit of distance. We're just fucking hauling ass.
The problem is Tom's suit.
Oh, he's broken?
Shit.
Yeah. Tom is down. His suit sealed itself, and he was able to get a shot off. But he has lost communication, and he's lost servo power. So he's just a man in a suit right now. He's not mechanized. Can't move as fast as you guys.
Tommy.
Hey, since fuck them. Somebody's got to fuck. All right. Let's start moving. Kim or
double time.
Well, so I'm wondering if she could just like finish the other one off since it's underneath the other one. Like just drop the flamethrower.
Oh yeah.
Well, not without torch Reggie.
Well, I helped Reggie up, right?
Oh,
and then I'm like,
me.
go, and then Tom is like,
leave me to die,
waving his hands around.
Okay, so the flamethrower is more like cover while you guys move.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like he grabs Tom and like grabs his head, like smacks him and like jerks his thumb, like let's go.
Okay,
just pushes him ahead.
What was the thing the tactical skill? Do you have that?
Combat tactics.
Did he give you that combat tactics? Okay, make a combat tactics roll. I'm sure this is something that's come up in training somewhere.
So it's going to be a 5.
Okay, now these things basically move at the same speed as you, which means that even if Tom gets up and feels no ill effects, he can move no faster than they, and they'll probably eventually catch him. But you've been taught in training how 2 men can get on either side of a third man and coordinate their jump jets so that they can move not as fast as you could alone, but faster than Tom could alone.
Okay.
So who's your partner on the other side of Tom? Reggie?
I'd have to say Reggie, yeah.
All right. So you and Reggie are both getting under Tom's arms, right? So he's up above both of your shoulders. And you just tell him that there's a position you're trained to take, right? He locks his elbows around your necks. You guys probably hang onto his outer arm to keep him on board. And then he just lifts his feet up because he's not going to be of much assistance as you guys count out loud and begin jumping with your servo jets on.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
This is a grace roll from both of you guys.
Gladly.
Need to beat 4.
I got a 4.
I got a 5.
All right, you are doing it. You're putting distance between you and your pursuers. You guys get into a pretty smooth rhythm after a while. It's just like you're still counting out loud to each other. Little Kim is staying up. She's a little bit behind you, but you are definitely putting distance between yourselves and them. And you feel in your right hand that thing inside the lunchbox is hurling itself against the container.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
You make it back to the Vidome in about an hour of this.
Oh, boy.
All right. You've got your sample. You've got your wounded team member. You're good.
All right, so we get to the clearing. We put Tom down. I'm like, Reggie, get your ass in the ship. Get this thing fired up. Let's get the fuck out of here. And then I run in and I secure that sample container inside the other sample container.
It's like a Matryoshka doll of
Nice.
Matryoshka doll?
I don't know. A Russian nesting doll.
Russian nesting doll.
Yeah. All right, so it's time for you to get in the pilot seat.
I'm in the pilot seat.
Do your pilot thing. Everybody strap down.
God. Strapped in. Okay, yes, there's a 6, so that's an 8.
That is a really smooth ride. The Earth materializes around you, and you find yourselves back at Diaspora Ranch with your sample in hand.
Holy shit.
And you guys, as you come out, there seems to be some sort of hubbub at the foreman's desk, and there's an alarm sounding. You hear over the speaker, the foreman is saying, "We have an emergency rescue mission, and there are a couple other crews standing around their shift, so everybody stops and looks up to listen to what it is. Miss Scylla Sardassian requires emergency rescue from the multiversal cow. All volunteers, please step forward immediately." And everybody else just kind of looks at each other and they're like, no. And we're going to cut right there. That's the end of the episode.
God.
Oh, fuck. All right. That's a good ending.
Well, I guess we're going to the multiversal cow. To save your beloved, your damsel in distress.
Well, he did ask her if she could come up with any additional ideas.
That's true. She's trying to be a day tripper, just like her hubby.
Yeah.
Is my paintings making any sense to you now?
And you suddenly flash back to that painting sitting there and what it felt like to be staring into that void, and you realize that's exactly what Reggie had painted. It's the multiversal cow.
The multiversal cow.
That doesn't make Nashville any better.
It's not. It's yeah. That's the correct reaction. Fuck. Good times.
All right, that specimen is really fucking valuable, and you guys killed some enemies and slipped both in and out and made a bunch of yes ands today. Experience points for Nash 13.
Nice.
And Reggie 11. I think this may be the first time Nash got more than Reggie.
Yay! Right. I definitely had some big failures in there.
Now you can say goodbye to the planet Drir forever.
Yeah, no shit.
we drop the bomb on it and it blows up, never to be seen or heard of again.
So refresh my memory, right? I guess we're getting kind of like way out now. The universal cow, is that like the interstitial spaces between stuff, or is that a specific?
That is a good theory, and the big model places it at the multidimensional center, whatever the fuck that means, of this entire multiverse. There may be other multiverses for all we know, but the center of it, or at the center of the section of the one that we find ourselves in, we call ourselves Galactic Zero because it's easy to navigate that way. But the real Galactic Zero is the place where all of the multiverses either spawn from or end up falling back into. It's an undifferentiated mass of multiple realities mixing and swirling together with almost no stability.
Oh shit!
Is there a time limit?
You might consider it like the ocean of realities. Realities plural.
Yeah. Is there a time limit on jumps to there? I mean, it's not really free space per se, right? I mean,
the common story is that DayTrippers who go to the multiversal cow have a 50-50 chance of coming back stark raving mad. That there's nothing stable. There's no laws of physics. It is the most unstable reality one could envision, and so that includes parts that are stable and parts that are not, and parts that change and parts that perceive in different ways. And
damn,
it's a place nobody wants to go to on purpose.
No.
If you badly screw up a slip dynamics roll, you can end there by accident, which apparently happened to Scylla.
Uh-oh. Oh boy.
and Nash is already hurt. And we're not going to get any kind of no rest.
Not for the wicked.
That'll make next session pretty interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The Reggie, these next two jumps are going to be the hardest and highest stakes jumps of your life.
I look forward to failing both of them.
You gotta bust out those My Little Pony dice.
Yeah, oh, they're here. They're out. They're out here, baby.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is either gonna completely break you or it's gonna fix you.
Yeah, right. I'll be talking like this. All of my accent is going to be gone. I'm now smart and intelligent.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Cool. That was fun.
That was awesome. Thank you, Todd.
You're so very welcome. It's really fun to start you guys with like no fucking idea what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Because something will just happen that suggests something else, and it's cool to let that just go. There's so much weird character, and I almost feel like when we started, I would constantly be pushing to try to get the adventure rolling, right? And I don't do that so much anymore. And now I'm like, well, I think you understand how he feels, and not only that, but tell me how you feel.
Yeah, you gotta lean in hard.
There's a lot of psychotherapy going on. It's a subtle psychotherapy.
I think that's when we're at our best.
Yeah.
It's just that kind of, I don't want to say dicking around because it's not what it is, but just sort of that
role playing, baby.
Yeah, all that character interaction stuff, like rolling dice and shooting stuff, whatever. Like that's cool, but like to dig into the characters and kind of like try to figure out the fuck is going on.
Oh yeah,
especially for this game.
Yeah.
You guys are weird. I have to remind myself from time to time. Oh, okay. You actually work for a corporation. They're real. They're big.
Yeah.
They're rich and powerful. Your boss wears expensive suits, etc. I have to remind myself of that from time to time because I just, when I think of you, I just think of you.
Yeah.
Right.
And they tolerate us.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because we're good at what we do.
Exactly.
That's fair. What more could you ask for?
Oh boy. Yeah.
So I guess I'm out of here. Do you end bumper stuff? How do we do this? Do you edit that on?
I do. Yeah, I got to do sponsor stuff and all that kind of jazz. You can hang and then I'll edit this part back out.
Well, first I'll say you can go to DayTrippersRPG.com and find links to all the things.
Yay!
Also,
If you really like it,
fictioneers.net.
really super like it, you can go to patreon.com/daytrippers and help me make more things.
All the things.
All the things.
Yep. There's a link to DayTrippersRPG .net in the show notes. There's also a link to the fictioneers.net if you want to check that out as well. We have a sponsor for the program. It's Birds of a Feather Coffee. They're a small batch craft coffee roaster roasted by my good friend Neil. He's got his own coffee business. It's very good. He has 3 flagship brews. It's the Night Owl Blend, the Morning Lark, and the Hummingbird. It's a decaf, a medium, a decaf, a light roast, and a dark roast. And where you want to put your money is in the legendary brew. It's a nice, even, medium roast. A little bit of the money comes back to the show, which helps us pay for all the bills, for all the things. If you use the code LEGENDS10 on any of the Birds coffees, you're going to get 10% off your order, and shipping is always free. So if you like coffee, please check that out. I want to thank Todd for running and John for hanging out and playing tonight. This is my favorite game. This is the one I look forward to the most, and I'm glad that we are back to it.
Yeah. Thank you for having me back.
I was sad when you went away.
Back on a roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll
Back
see
to all the
y'all
weirdness.
Yeah. I'm out. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Thanks everybody for checking this out. We appreciate you tuning in. Likes, reviews, feedback, comments, all that kind of stuff. We appreciate that, and it's super helpful if you leave reviews on iTunes or whatever your podcatcher of choice is. And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
So many buttons to click. We're still here.